Salam alaikum, bonjour, this is Lamia. Today I wanted to share with you a story I have lived when I gave birth to my fourth kid. That was a few years ago, in 2020. And my baby had suddenly a rush of eczema. And it was the first time one of my kids did that kind of reaction. Though in my family, there were some people who had that kind of skin disorder. And I go to the doctor who had my respect. I trusted her in finding the good solutions. And the only treatment she could offer my son, was something based on corticoid, which I had bad experience, bad feeling about it, because some of my family members in that case had to use it, and I knew that there were a lot of side effects to it. And not only that, I trusted the doctor, so I bought the medicine. And the smell was so strong, and I put a little bit of it. I could see that it was working, but it wasn't working that much. So I asked the doctor, and she tells me that I needed to put a lot of it, a big chunk of paste, so it can help. But I knew also that there was kind of addiction from the skin to this product. So I asked her to give me an alternative. As my father was a doctor, I grew up with a lot of medical doctors, and I lived in different countries, and I gave birth in different countries, in Luxembourg, in France. I lived in Algeria. I gave birth in Kuwait, in Saudi Arabia. So there you discover one truth. Depending on the country, on the culture, you will have different options. So you can have alternative. So I ask her, what else can I do? She tells me, if you hydrate the skin with the proper cream, just a cream to hydrate it, it will help. You need to do it 4 times a day. Okay, I do it. At that moment, I discovered a very important book that has shaped my life quite strongly, because this helped me understand the power of the emotional impact on our health. This book has been written by Natacha Calestrémé. It's a French scientific journalist, and the title of her book is Get Back the Key to My Energy. It's not in English yet, I don't think so. But it's a very powerful book, and it speaks about the impact of the emotional state, the emotional wounds on our life, on our health, etc., etc. And then I'm going into the book, and she mentions the eczema cause, and she says that eczema has a root into a feeling of loneliness. And at that time, I was feeling very lonely, extremely lonely. I felt that I was alone, and I think a lot of mothers will relate to that. When you give birth, you breastfeed, you don't sleep much. At that time, each time I gave birth, I had put on a lot of weight, at least 30 kg. So I didn't feel good about myself at that time. And you feel lonely. So she just recommends to do something when it's like this, to speak to your kid and to tell him that it's not his responsibility, because he's taking with him my emotion. So what I did, when it was nighttime, he was sleeping with me because I was breastfeeding him. And I just had the intention to tell him that it wasn't his responsibility to feel my loneliness and to keep it with him, and that I free him from this burden and he can relax now. I thanked him for making me understand that, and I kept on doing that night, and I felt it. Well, after that, no more eczema. It just disappeared. I kept on hydrating his skin to make it smoother, and the eczema disappeared. He had it all over his body. I hope this will help a lot of parents. Bye.